Coach Norvell talked about all the different combinations you guys are kind of running through. No continuity is important on the offensive line. I guess what kind of challenges has that presented all the rotating bodies this year?
Always a challenge, you know. You got to rotate some guys and get them to do things, but you got to play, you know, what you got, and you got to give them the best position possible, you know. So we had some guys for the first time getting, I think Zane Herron, that was his first time getting some game action. We had some guys play some guard and tackle, but, you know, that's why we worked across training. I remember I got asked that a long time ago, and that's the reason why, because you got to have guys playing multiple spots.
Do you know how many, I'm sure you know how many offensive line combinations you've used in games so far this year?
No, I don't. Not exactly. I don't keep up with the count. I just try to make sure we got 5 out there because they won't let me send 4.
You guys stay true to who you are, no matter who's on the offensive line. You think you need to change with personnel change?
What do you like? Say it again now. More.
Do you guys stay true to who you are and what you want to run, even when you have the sort of?
I mean, you have different ability levels that you have to alter with guys on the field. You got to put them in the best position that they can handle. I think that goes as far as all positions, whether it be, you know, what can the quarterback do, what can the O-line do, what can the receivers do. Yeah, we do kind of put some, you know, we got to put them in the best position we can to make sure they're successful in their skill set.
How often have you been in a situation like this where you have this many guys go down?
Can't recall this many. But at the end of the day, that's why, you know, the training and preparation, we talk to these kids about responding, because they're going to look to me to how I react in the moment. And if I'm looking like it's the first time chaotic and all that, it's going to be first time chaotic and all this kind of good stuff. So I got to make sure my reactions is poised and understanding what we can do and putting them in the best position what we put out there.
How do you balance if you've got a young guy that maybe is healthy but doesn't really know everything yet?
Correct.
And not wanting to put him out there too early, but maybe he's
depends on how the practice week goes. You know, if he's shown that he can go out there and handle it, and also at O-line with the continuity aspect, you can put him next to somebody. You know, we don't play out in wide splits and things like that, so you can have a conversation as long as they understand the base concept. So it's just the practice week who's shown that they can handle the load, and also throughout the camp and everything through their training who showed they can be able to react in those moments.
Darius for a couple of plays had to move to center when
Davion
briefly went down. Is that just a move out of needing someone who can get the ball there and you trust
I think that was his first time playing center in the game. But yeah, Darius had been training at center, you know, because that reason, you know, just in case we had the guy going. We try to train about 4 or 5 guys. He's been the most consistent with the snaps. So that's the first thing that comes up when you lose a center is who can get the ball back there cleanly, because nothing else matters. You know, if he can block him but the ball is over his head, we in trouble.
Is there any thought of trying to ask these there at center?
Possibly. Depends on how the practice week goes. He was with us today, this week repping. But we also, Mo got some reps in, so we'll see. You know, it's just still early in the week to tell, but possibly.
You've got a few different guys along the offensive line who can play a few different spots. How do you balance between maybe hitting a guy where they're most comfortable playing with also wanting to get your 5 best guys on the field at the same time?
Yeah, there's always a comfortable, you know, we try to act like there isn't, but some guys play comfortable in certain spots. But you also have to coach them in. You can still play at these other spots. It's more mental training than anything. It's like a mental block. But I believe that they know what has to be done, and we're going to put the best 5 out there. You know, regardless of position, because those guys understand what needs to be done, and they've shown they can do it in some capacity.
When a team is perceived to have had a good game like the Notre Dame game, and is perceived to have not had good games and losses in the next couple of games.
Yep.
How much of what your job is managing the team, your players emotionally, or how much of it is just focusing on the work?
Truth. You know, not much. You know, balancing more, just giving them the truth. And let the truth be the truth. So we're in meetings, you know, the film is the truth, no matter what the perception is. You know, the perception could be we played well against Notre Dame, but we had a guy that didn't play well at all. You know, so it's more of the truth being the truth and giving them that truth and them knowing consistently that you're giving them truth, that you're not going to try to play mind games or tell them something that's not true. It's just more, hey, this is what it is. Let's move forward. Let's improve on these things. Let's go out here with a plan. Because I think if you come out here and they don't have any truth, they don't know exactly what to detail work on to get better. So just give them the truth.
I feel like they're performing better in the running game, the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, it's all so many different aspects of that, but I think that what I've seen is the cut of missed assignments, guys not on the right person. I think that's improved greatly even throughout the rotation. Now, we got to get some guys in better position, finish, hands, all the stuff that comes with O-line play. But what you hadn't seen, what I told the group was, we're past the part of guys just running scot-free or this and that. We hadn't seen a lot of that. but we got to also be in the right position, right leverage, right eyes, and understand movement, things like that. Getting to the second level, that kind of that more advanced training as we go, even whoever's out there or whatever combination it is, getting to that more expert level training. You know, in rookie mode, you got to make sure you're on the right guy. Then you can move up a level. All right, we're in the right guy, right leverage. We got to get our hands right. Now we're playing elite. We can pass the twist. It just keeps progressing as we go. Even if another person comes in, and that progression can't stop.
I think Coach said yesterday that Louisville will bring guys from anywhere.
Oh yeah, they're high pressure. You know, Brown, man, Coach Brown, he does a good job on defense. You know, he tries to disguise it. He does a good job of movements. They're athletic, so it'd be a challenge on that aspect when we talk about expert level O-line play.
When it comes to you guys, all 5 guys doing their job, I know you talked about it, there's less missed assignments. Are you at a point where you're never going to be totally happy, but are you guys at a good position or a good spot where all 5 guys are able to do their job?
Yeah, man. Well, you know, of course, in the meeting room, they're doing a great job. You know, they can call it out, they can see it. It's just in the moment. You know, it's all that build upon in the moment. Like I tell my guys this: we can go out here on the turf right here where we have our individual drills. You can do it right there. We can go to team drills. You can do it right again. We can go to tempo drill. You can do it right. We can go walk through right before the game and do it right. And you only get that one opportunity on Saturday to get it right. That one time, you have to be right then. That's the time to show up. And we have to continue to build towards showing up when that moment happens, not after the moment, seeing it. And God, you know, that's the time it has to show up.
Coach Norvell said that. Coach Fuller said about his defense that it's those moments, for some reason, what's being trained here is not being applied on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $1 million question, but how do you fix that? Can you drill certain things?
You have to. It can't be the first time they saw the picture. You know, so I have to be the coach and uniquely find ways to show them that picture as many times where they can't mess it up. You've done it. So this is the balance of the line play where you got a guy that has to go out there and perform at, 70 plays and, practice and still keep him where, he's 300-some pounds, where how many times can you show him the look but still get him, ready to play the game mentally and physically. So how many times can I show him the look? That's why we had a virtual reality room. How many times have you seen this picture where you can, it's almost a reaction and it's a trained behavior? You know, it's like driving. You know, when I first got my license, I'm a little better now. Them left turns come a little easier. I'm parallel parking. Don't talk about my wife. She over there. We still, muscle memory and parallel parking.
How do you, when guys haven't had success, I know you've been in football for a long time.
Oh yeah.
When the team's struggling. How do you get confidence when things aren't going right? Once
again, I go back to the truth. You know, finding those small incremental growths. Where if I'm the left guard, and all week I focus on, I'm not gonna mess with my hands. I might mess up on a lot of things, but in that game, if I corrected my hands, I will praise that growth. Now I will showcase everything else we need to correct and we need to move on, but I gotta praise the incremental growth. I've been through this process quite a bit, Tulane and Charlotte, and I've been through this process, but that's the process of seeing the growth in it. Now we're in a results-based business. I love that because at the end of the day, there's one result, which is, that's always going to be constant, but the small incremental growth can't be ignored or you'll never get the big step that you're looking for.
A couple more. Can you make a player embrace that moment, like that singular moment in the game where they have to execute, or guys like that belong?
Oh yeah, no, I think you definitely can, because when it happens, the awesome thing about it is when it happens and they do it and you celebrate, you almost can shelf it because they know now. They remember that feeling like, man, now I practice a little bit more. Okay, I need the next look. I need the next look. They start to fiend for it. As you watch those vets, when you watch the Hard Knocks, they get mad when they don't get the look. Like, I need that, because they knew what it took to get to that success point. It's the same thing here. When you get the feeling, you do it correct, and you get it, you're like, there it is. Now I'm good. Just like whenever I start working out one day and I take my shirt off and I see, I'm like, you know what? That's what I did it for. I ain't gonna go back to eating the cheeseburger.
You good?
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.